And I am so excited for you guys to be with us today. We've got a great show, some cool stuff. Lisa's been wanting to talk about this for a long time, and we've kind of like, okay, Lisa, we'll let
Jeff
you
wouldn't
eventually.
let me.
We'll eventually let you guys, let you do that. But it's going to be a great show. And so here's a question I wanted to ask you as the audience, because everybody starts these live shows like, how's the weather where you're at? And Lisa said she has a thunderstorm. I want to do something different. I want to ask you guys in the audience, and let us know in the comments, if you could be anything, if you could be one of these two things, which one would you pick? Would you rather be a great, incredible graphic designer, or would you rather be a great copywriter? Which one would you pick, and why? So you have two things that you could be incredible at. Which one would you pick? An incredible graphic designer or incredible copywriter, and why? So Elisa, I want to know what you would say.
Oh man.
So, and I want to know people in the audience, and I want to pull up their things too, because this is really interesting to me.
It's really hard because I think being a terrific graphic designer, I think would be really fun. But I also think that the kind of work you do and the way that you work with people could be frustrating. So you get people trying to tell you.
Frustrating?
Well, I know poor Justine and Kier working with me. It's like you have to learn a new language to know how to communicate what you want. Right. And I feel like a lot of times graphic designers work with people who say things like, just make it cool. And it's like, what do you do with that? So I would love to have that skill, but I think the working conditions would be more frustrating than if you're a copywriter. So I guess I would go with copywriter, although
I don't think there's a right answer, but Leah goes, I'm already a great copywriter,
and
awesome. She's very confident. So yes, Alex says he is a copywriter because it's more versatile. And Stacy, this is great. I love all you guys' answers. So incredible copywriter, since the words will create the graphic. So very, very interesting. A lot of copywriters, that's more versatile. A lot of people are copywriters. Vicky says she would rather be a graphic designer. All sorts of cool answers here. But so Pinterest, do you think, would you still say the same thing? If you're like, you're a marketing agency specializing in Pinterest, would you still say copywriter, Elisa?
It depends on who I'm making pins for. If I'm making them for myself, yeah, I want to be really good at the graphics.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like with Pinterest, you really need to be both. Right? You've got to write the content.
That's the point I was going to make, because that's a hard. It's a hard thing. It's hard to pick between which one. Jed goes, hard. It's kind of different. It's a difference between Microsoft and Apple. So yeah.
Do I want to ask which is which? I guess copywriter would be Microsoft.
Yeah, well, they're both cool, so they'd be both cool.
Yeah, they are.
Apple.
Cool.
So, but anyway, I just wanted you guys to think about that, because I think those are two big skills that for good Pinterest, marketing, those kind of go hand in hand. And if you have to pick one of each, it's hard to pick because you need both of those skills. And so, anyway, I just thought that was an interesting question. And Leah goes, "This is what Canva is for." 'Cause she's the one who said that she's a incredible copywriter. So yeah, it is both. Ella says so. Very, very interesting.
What about you, Jeff? What if you had to pick one?
I would kind of lean into the copywriting too, I guess, because one, I think that's one skill that I think I really could continue to develop. I don't think I'm there graphic wise either, but I mean, I agree with a lot of people saying it's versatile, and you need it for so many things. Even copywriting can paint the picture even when you can't have an image. I mean, in Pinterest we want to have both, but they're just really. That was a tough one that I thought of, and I was like,
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. So thank you guys for all that. This show, by the way, speaking of great images that you can actually put great copy behind, make sure that you go to our brand new templates that have come out this month. They're brand spanking new. You can go to bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit. That's bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit. All lowercase, all smashed together. So, it's those are, we're going to show some of those off today too, I believe. You're going to talk about those. Yeah. You said we were in the sketch.
I did. I'm
going by what you said. So, so it's interesting.
So what are we talking about today?
We're still getting comments about copywriter versus graphic designer. And Ella says, this. She goes, home design requires photo design, less text or none. Blogger would be more copy. So I guess it does depend on the field that you're in. She also talked about fonts give certain emotions too. So yes, very, very important. Got some controversy going now. Some
oh no,
here we go. Copywriter. I love it. I mean, it's a great question because I think it takes both. So, but today we're talking about a tool that it's relatively new. It's in the grand scheme of the Pinterest timeline, I guess. It's maybe a lot of us aren't really using it. If you are, it can give you some great insights. But we talked, the whole title of this is about trends and how we can use that Pinterest trends tool to, give us some information to, take it to the next level. So how do you want to do this? You want to break it down? Or you want to jump into trends right now?
Well, I think what really brought this on, because we have talked about trends some on the show, is that Pinterest has been putting out a weekly what people are searching for that I found in the community. If you haven't been in the Pinterest community, I highly suggest you check it out. Let me grab that link and drop it in there. Because this is the only place I have seen these. So what Pinners are searching for this week, and it's specifically because of the shift with COVID that they're doing all this research to figure out what has changed, what's different. So they'll compare this week to the previous week.
Right.
So it's really up to date stuff. So we're talking about things like a 4x increase in cute fall outfits. So I said yesterday, oh my goodness, it feels like fall out there. Right. Even though it's mid-August, it's already feeling that way. And so that's starting to influence what people are looking for on Pinterest. And then words of affirmation are way up. So if you want to use quote graphics to drive people to a related blog post, that might be something you want to try. Mm-hmm. Keeping the peace is a whole theme that came up.
Really?
So maintaining, a calm household, right? As people are getting a little fed up.
See, I think that duct tape should be if you're going to do promoter pins, that's what you need to hit right there. Duct tape for your kids. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So memes, parenting humor. I mean, people are just trying to get through. So anything you have with that, things like creating a calming corner at home or house rules for kids. It's time to get serious, I guess. And then even skill building. So kids woodworking projects or sports crafts for kids. I don't know what that would be. All these things are up in the searches. And while you guys are listening, if you want to drop in the comments, what is your industry? Because that's what we really want to focus on. We want to dig into these tools and these insights, but with a view to helping you specifically. Right.
So let us know what you're thinking. Kid spaces, so kid desk ideas. If you got anything like that, this is the time for that. We talked about it a few weeks ago, but holiday planning is already in full swing. So there's a 5x increase in Christmas vibes right now. Christmas aesthetic. Aesthetic is a big word on Pinterest, and I can never spell it or say it quite right.
I want to go back to what you said about the holiday stuff coming up. So Pinterest has, I know they had the schedule. Is it still when should people start planning for Christmas stuff? Because
April.
Yeah, I know it's really, really early. So.
No, I'm not kidding. This year it was April. Okay. Usually it's a little later, July or a little later than that. But this year it started in April, and your guess is as good as mine or Pinterest that maybe people are worried about shipping delays, or they're just needing some kind of escape to plan something that might be fun for them. Gotcha. So Christmas decor 5x increase over the last few weeks, and then things so people are thinking about social activities too. So things like backyard fall weddings are up big time, as you can imagine. Kids spa day at home, just ways to make home a little bit more fun, a little bit more social. Sports, I feel all the sports teams are a little on edge right now.
Well, see, everybody's desperate for sports right now. It's no wonder they're searching Pinterest for stuff that you can't watch anything. So
right. So football rooms, I don't know what that is.
We did a football room. Yeah, you decorate your kid's room as a football room.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what they're searching for. Yeah.
Okay. And then home entertainment. I mean, yeah, that makes so much sense. Like outdoor family movies, movie theater bedroom ideas, um, girls' gaming room or gaming bedroom ideas for boys,
Right.
backyard movie nights, all these things that are like fun things to do that you can possibly do in a safe kind of way. Definitely important. And then healthy at home. So we did notice that things like keto like fell off the map,
Nobody
especially
cares
when
anymore. No one's
first started.
We're
Right.
all wearing sweatpants anyway. I mean,
No, nobody can see
we
you
should
from.
we should make each other stand up and see what actually is.
Oh,
But we're not going to do that.
You do not want to do that.
So,
but I did notice that cloud bread was trending today. So I don't know.
what
like
was
maybe
trending?
There's cloud bread. It's that like egg white bread that you make. That's no carbs.
Okay.
I don't know if it's any good. Tell me if it's some good.
Gotcha.
People. But things like zucchini brownie, healthy. Everything zucchini, obviously, right now because people's gardens are going crazy. Everything cucumber. But exercise room ideas. So people kind of looking at home health and home fitness as like more long term.
Mm-hmm.
At home yoga studios. So they're kind of ready to say, all right, maybe I'm not going back to the gym anytime soon. My gym opened last week and I'm just not ready to go. I don't know about you.
No, I haven't been to the gym I used to lift weights, but they're so heavy. So I wanted to bring up this thing from Ella, and she goes, Pinterest Business went over this and said it's earlier Christmas. People are home more and starting sooner because of shipping delays and won't shop in person. Right. I thought that's a great insight. Thank you, Ella, for sharing that because, a lot of stuff, I know bakers because, my family bakes and I bake and stuff, and like getting flour is still sometimes an issue if you want to get bread flour and stuff. Really? So, when you're trying to think of if you have an e-commerce or a store, we've got a ton of different people. We're going to get to some of these industries you guys have been dropping in the comments in just a second. So, that's a great point, really thinking about making your customers happy because even if they don't realize how long it's going to ship, you're still going to get the blame for it. Like if you're going to, a lot of my, so I have a t-shirt kind of shop, and if you do they'll even warn you like, hey, your shipping's going to be delayed around this date. And so people don't care. They're used to Amazon next day shipping and all that stuff. So you have to really manage your customers' expectations too. So that's a great point, Ella. Thank you for bringing that up. So
here's a real world example. I ordered a dishwasher on June 16th.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be here August 28th after 3 delays. So we'll see if it ever arrives. But if it's something big like that you want, you better order it quick. Yeah. Some really huge trends I just want to get through. Fall refresh ideas. So fall hair color, cute fall outfits, neutral fall decor. Those are all up like 5x, 6x, 8x, 24x. Huge increases. Viewing party ideas, like we already talked about the outdoor videos, movies, all that.
So
there's one last one.
Okay, go to the last one.
Okay, last one is budgeting. So unfortunately, in this country anyway, a lot of the relief that was available for COVID special circumstances has ended. Right. So people are scrambling. They're really looking for things like homeschool, room ideas on a budget, DIY backyard wedding on a budget, monthly budget templates. So anything you have that can help people make their money go further, make sure that is getting out there. If you have any ideas, create that content and get it out because people need it and they're looking for it right now.
Right. So how can, with all this stats that you just gave us, what things are rising, how do we use that information now? I want to kind of say, like, if you are, let's say you're a food blogger, you're not going to try to cash in on some of the wacky ones just because they're high on people searching for. So how can we use this in our creating pins or helping us drive traffic to our content or getting us seen in the smart feed? So pick an example and then give some ways to do that.
Okay, so you said food blogger. So if I'm a food blogger, I'm going to look at these trends and say, okay, there's 119% increase in searches for baseball party food. Do I have a recipe? Can I make a recipe? that would show up in a search like this. Or if I'm looking at a backyard fall wedding, do I have a recipe that would be like great backyard fall wedding treats?
Mm-hmm.
Or a budget. You can pretty much use budget for anything, right? So, like how to plan family meals on a budget, or 3 budget-friendly dinner ideas that last all week, or probably bad.
No, those are good.
But
you're not trying to stuff something in a specific keyword or thing. You're making it so it makes sense. So Rona makes a great point. She says that she has a client who posted about budget kinjit makeovers and got a crazy amount of traffic because that kind of fits into what people are searching for, and so that makes total sense that that's working. So.
And I think the big picture of it is, okay, look at these trends, and I can share links to those reports, and think about what is this telling me about what is on people's minds right now. I think you can figure it out just thinking about it, but if you actually look at the slides and think, why is this trending right now, and what does this tell me about what I should be writing about and pinning about right now?
Gotcha. So here's a great question by Paulette. She goes, are the terms quarantine and lockdown still taboo for Pinterest?
The real taboo has been COVID, right? Or coronavirus, because they want to protect from that misinformation or, So
in fact, Facebook now, just for another thing, they will actually give you a warning if you share news. They'll warn you saying, hey, is this good information or not? So that just came out this week.
Yeah, I noticed even on TikTok, even if somebody mentions it, they'll have a link that's linked to coronavirus information, which is good. But quarantine, you can probably do that. Lockdown as well. Just think about, is that... I feel like it might go on a long time, this quarantine lockdown feeling. But the great thing about Pinterest is if your content is super relevant and it stays relevant, you can get traffic from that pin for years and years. So if you think about it, some of the search trends we were seeing were not lockdown and quarantine. They were at home.
Evergreen.
Right? Evergreen. So how to do these things at home is probably going to be a better angle.
Because your kids are going to drive you crazy at home. Regardless, it just is going to happen again. That's evergreen. That is evergreen. So,
that is evergreen.
And Leah says this, and she goes, but that was a good question. Metavine had actually warned people not to pull in this text as well because it turns off advertisers. So that's a great point too, is not only is Pinterest not, you shouldn't use these, but if it's like, this is just, people are sick of it. And, that's not going to help your content get out there. So trying to jump on that bandwagon probably wouldn't be it. But I loved your idea about at home, because we're always, at some point in time, something's going to happen and we're going to be at home and we're going to need distraction. So, yeah.
So do we have some industries that we wanted to look up on the trends?
Yes, we have. We got some more things I want to pull up really quick. There were some basic stats too that I remember that you want to cover that were some of the things that they, and another great point is Di says this. She goes, where can we find this trend list that you were just talking about? So can you tell people where they can
dropped the link in the chat just now as we were talking, and I'm also going to put the link to community in there again, because that is where I find these updates.
Community has some really great stuff. I actually got to meet with the community director the other day, and she is amazing. So she's got a lot of cool stuff over there, a lot of stuff happening. So I wasn't even aware of much of going on there, but it's a really cool place. So make sure you head over there and check that out too.
Yeah, and a lot of times they will invite you. Hey, after you comment or something, they'll say, "Hey, let's talk about this," and you can book a call, which is
over
great.
On YouTube. Hedge, I believe, says, I wrote a post about this 6 or 7 years ago on a hidden small office space, and I got tons of traffic from it earlier this year. So, that stuff, like Elisa was saying, that bubbles up because of what people are starting to search for. So
relevant again, yeah. I met with 2 different people this week who work from their closets.
Yeah, I can see that.
One of them has an office too, and she's like, I like working in here. So could you write a post about how to turn your closet into an office, or how to turn your closet into a podcast studio? people are doing this stuff right now.
Alrighty, so we'll drop that link into the community, into Facebook and YouTube here in a second. So let's go ahead. Oh, and there's our friend from YouTube, Mama Joe, always stops by. Hey, Mama Joe, thank you so much for stopping by. She's one of our faithful watchers and listeners, and thank you, Mama Joe, for stopping by today. So let me pull up some of these trends. So you go ahead and get started with your screen share. And we'll get we got some specific ones. Do you want to go specific or do you want to go broad first?
Let's go specific.
Okay, here we go. Okay. This one is from I hope I say that, Janika. I think that's it. She goes Indian home decor. So what say you for that? So tell people where you found this, in case they're just getting started on Pinterest, how you found Pinterest trends, and then kind of walk people through, because remember, we got a lot of podcast listeners as well, what you're doing and what's coming up. Okay.
It's only available for the US, the UK, and Canada right now, but hopefully it will be expanding. So if you're outside that area, please let us know when you're asking for some help with this, so we can kind of prioritize that, knowing that you don't have access to it. You go to trends.pinterest.com, and that's it. Or you can go to analytics and choose the trends drop down, as I'm doing on the screen share. So that's it. That's how you get to Pinterest trends. And I will say that the selection of trends available is not infinite. So Indian home decor, not really sure we're going to get that, but I do have a couple of other options up just in case we don't. So Indian home decor. Am I in the dark? Because it is really stormy here and it's very dark in here.
Okay. If you go away, we'll let everybody know.
Oh, it's pulling up home decor. Indian.
So what you're doing is you're just typing it inside the search box, and it's kind of auto-suggesting things as well. So
and so there's nothing specific. So I've got Indian, I have Indian designer wear, Indian jewelry, Indian dessert. So I'm not seeing anything specific. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Indian and then see down below that it will give you related terms. So unfortunately that's not one of them. So the next thing I would do, because that's like trends is unfortunately not going to help us here. First I'm going to go to guided search, which I know a lot of people are saying they don't have it anymore. So when I say guided search, I mean, excuse me, can you still see?
Yeah, you're still good.
Oh, but I'm not on the trends anymore, right?
No, well, I mean, yeah, we're still on trends right now.
Okay, I need to switch then, because I was going somewhere else. Toggle sharing, screen sharing. How do I share a different screen?
Yeah, it's probably not.
Oh, I have to stop. Okay, stopping, toggling back on. I'm just going to share my entire screen because I don't want to do that again. Okay. So
now we're going. Okay, we're going.
I know, I hate when that happens. Okay, so I'm back on the home screen, and you're seeing this is, well, Jeff, you know this is a guided search. So if you enter a search term and you hit enter, you're going to get these little colored tiles underneath here, underneath the search term you entered, that are like related search terms. So that's what we're going to use instead. And these colors, I would love everybody to try this. Let me know what you think. According to our friend Jennifer Priest, and she knows a lot, at Smart Creative Social, the colors reflect the dominant color of the pins in that search. So if that's true, then if I click on symptoms, I'm going to see mostly purple. If I click on remedies, I'm going to see mostly red. I have a hard time figuring this out because I feel like I'm looking for purple. Right? Like, is it really mostly purple? Oh, I don't know, maybe. But that's just kind of that's a total side point. But okay, let's go back to allergies. So, yeah.
So you're saying some people aren't seeing those colored bars underneath the search term?
Yeah. In some cases, it seems to be mixed in with the home feed results.
And I'm maybe they're looking at on mobile and not desktop?
No, because I've seen it on desktop as well.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if we could get more specific. Indian home. This might be too niche. So the options we are getting though are in the drop down. So we do have options like Indian home decor, Indian home interior, design, decor living room, decor bedroom, decor traditional, Indian home decor kitchen. So those are absolutely terms that you could use. Kind of hidden option here is in the ads dashboard. So if you create a campaign, don't worry about it. We're not going to run anything. And you get to targeting, we can enter and extend your reach. We're going to enter Indian home. And we're going to look and see, is there anything in here that they're going to suggest for us? Not so much. Man, I don't think I've ever seen such limited results here.
So this is one that we probably shouldn't have picked for an example, but it's good to see of like, so Elisa's process of like, okay, how can I drill down? What can I do? Things, if you don't see anything, Pinterest, I've talked to a lot of people who've come from different social platforms or advertising platforms, and they get frustrated because Pinterest doesn't have the granularity like Facebook does, like when you're doing ads and that kind of stuff. So
look, we found it. We found the combination, Jeff.
What'd you find? What was the combination?
Decor. If you use Indian decor, you get a whole bunch of keywords, and it's going to show you the potential audience size, which, grain of salt here. But anyway, you've got a whole list here. You can add them all over, copy them, paste them out into your list. So turns out there are actually quite a few. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, that was really cool. So let's go to another topic. Just stay on that screen. Let's go back to trends. And I'm going to go pull up one that's a little, let's see here. This one's from YouTube. So it's still a little specific, but I think it will. It's from Jura, decorative pillows.
Pillows, okay.
Decorative pillows, not just pillows.
Yeah,
decorative
but
pillows.
We're gonna look. Pillows decorative on a couch.
Oh,
pillows
wow.
on bed. So let's use this part of the tool right here though to pick where we want to go.
So why are you using that part of the tool? Why are you using the more general one?
Because it has the graphs of the trend for you right here as on the screen. So we see pillows like down, big up, and then kind of a steady up. And right now it's back on the upswing. So pillow itself, probably a good one. Mm-hmm. Pillow covers, also similar. Pillow thoughts, quotes, nope.
Like nobody wants pillow quotes right now during COVID. So my question is, how long is this graph for? Is it like the last 24 hours? Is it 30 days?
No.
This
is a year, which is why it's so cool. You could actually use this tool to plan your entire year of content. So if you're like, what time of year should I put out my pillows on a bed post? Let's see. I'm going to click on it, and the peak time of year for that is either May or September. Now, obviously this year is weird, right? Well, we know that.
That's the understatement of our whole broadcast. Yes. It's been a weird year.
Yeah. I'm glad you tuned in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it still probably has some relevance in a lot of niches. Some may be really tricky. But so I've clicked in on pillows on bed, and now I'm seeing this yearly search trend bar. Mm-hmm. And if I want to compare it, like, all right, pillows on bed, all right, I'm going to plan that for May of next year. Like, what do I want to do right now? So I'm clicking on throw pillows. Oh, my word. So trends itself does not tell you the search volume by number. Mm-hmm. It tells you the time of year when that search is most popular. So this 0 to 100 graph over here is like percent of increase. Or percent of search volume for the year. So it hit 99 for throw pillows in April, but it's still a good trend. And what I'm looking at now is I'm comparing pillows on bed to throw pillows. And throw pillows, even though we can't see the absolute volume, we can see the comparison that throw pillows is a way bigger search term, no matter what time of year.
So that's what you should use in your title, description, overlay, all that. Yeah, throw pillows. So yeah, I love comparing two terms because with just one term, it's like, okay, for that term, here's the trend. But then if you want to see, well, which term
has more search overall, that's when you want to compare. So decorative pillows, again, it's higher than pillows on bed, lower than throw pillows. It's a really good time of year to write about and share ideas about decorative pillows. So that was the exact term, right?
Right. Yeah. So that was what they said, decorative pillows. So the key is, though, is like if you're a food blogger, you don't want to try to make like, the best tips for food on your decorative pillow. Because, I mean, that doesn't really, it won't, people will be mad when they go land on that landing page. You're not trying to,
No, this is for you. This is for your niche. So the other cool thing, we have these related terms might be something you didn't think about. And then underneath that are popular pins based on your search terms. So you can actually see what people are responding to. So if I look at decorative pillows, I can see some ideas on what I might do.
So so we talked about this a little bit at the start of the show, copywriting versus or design. So would you take these and look at what these are popular ones, right? These are doing well on Pinterest, correct? On the search term.
Okay, well, let's kind of give this a little caveat. That's what it says. When you do the search, though, all it appears to do is an actual search. So if I had done a search here for decorative pillows, I think it would have been the same results. So I think it's more like if you do a search for pillows, here's what comes up. Not necessarily an inside scoop on what's most popular. It's like just what you'd see in a search.
Yeah, look at the video pin though, right at the very front though. Just saying.
Yeah, and that is very eye-catching. It's kind of pretty. So
but this is, I mean, if you're like struggling like with like we talked about, copy, what kind of copy, you can get some great ideas from this. What seems to be working, how big the text is, what are they using for the text? There's the throw pillows, really big text right there. And then what images seem to be, working. I just scrolling through it like a bird's eye view. Look how many pins have multiple pillows on them.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, what is that? Should I test that? That's really interesting to me. So how can you stand out in that feed as well? So what would make people click on it? So maybe if I had,
I'd love to hear what people are seeing too.
Yeah, and so I see those multiple pillows, and I'm like, what if I had that as movement, like a rainbow of pillows just constantly in a loop, going.
And I think color too, right? Because there's a lot of neutral going on. So this yellow one really pops out. This yellow pops out. Then there's a lot of like kind of quiet, soft colors, which if that's what you've got, and that's what people are looking for, cool. But I would add a pop of a contrasting color because they get a little lost. Oh, here's what I was talking about before, and I'll explain it for anyone just listening. In the search results, there are suggested searches, which you could take as guided search suggestions. So maybe you want to do cute pillows or pillows decorative on couch, DIY pillow covers, just more ideas of. They're obviously made for pinners, but we can use them as marketers.
So you mentioned that first one, like cute pillows. Would you go back and enter that into trends and to see actually, is that really worth it? I mean, because I want to see if compared to other ones.
Look at that. You've got
so that's why I suggested.
It's a low volume search trend, but the curve of that trend is looking. Oops. I'll just remind you. Cute pillows. So if you're going to write about cute pillows, this is almost the best time of year to do it.
So that was my thing, is like, that's really interesting to me, is like with that guided search, why did they suggest it? I want to go back and see, like we just did. And it was trending upwards.
That's really smart.
Want
to try another one?
Yeah.
Do pretty pillow.
Okay. Do what pillow?
Pretty
pillow.
I can't imagine ever actually searching that, but
people are. What's that top one that just died?
Alien makeup pretty.
So don't be using that one. But it spiked.
That died.
Yeah, around Halloween.
Oh, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
And so this one didn't show up in trends.
Okay, I want to pull up this question from Marion. She asked right now. So she goes, should we use these terms as hashtags?
Hashtags are optional. So the official word from Pinterest is you can use them, but spend more time on your descriptions and titles, because hashtags are optional now. And I know it's like,
right.
Use them, don't use them. Use them. You can use them if you want to.
Well, ePartners over on YouTube says, wow, mind blown about using Pinterest trends for keywords. So this is cool. This is cool stuff. This is relatively, in the grand timeline of Pinterest, kind of a new thing that is pretty exciting. And Elisa is a wizard at it. So,
it's just super fun. I love it when they tell us what people want. So I have something fun we can watch from their YouTube channel. It's just like 37 seconds long or something. Can I play it?
Let's do some more of these first, because I want to make sure before we jump right around to stuff. So let me go to another one. So we did decorative pillows. Let me find another. Let's see.
Let's do a non-home one, like a different one.
Like non-home. Okay. Here's how about and this is from Martin. He goes, how about personal development coaching?
Oh, let's try coaching, because that's really
I got another one after that.
Coaching quotes. I mean, you can use that to promote a blog post, but it's not even a good time of year for that. So, and it's probably, I'm guessing, it's probably more like sports coaching, just looking at the time of year. Okay, so we've got like career quotes, mindset quotes might be a better one.
What about personal development?
Okay.
That's a big term, but I want to see what happens.
It is, and weirdly, it's not very popular right now, but personal growth quotes are, as are struggling quotes.
Wow.
Personal.
Because everybody's,
That's sad. Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but do you guys see how this can like inform, even before you start creating pins, how this can really inform like, this is what I need to do now. And like Alicia's been pointing out, it's very seasonal too. Like, that one peaked during Halloween, or, so then you need to start thinking, okay, I need to back up and make sure I hit that peak. I mean, so it's really, really cool stuff. Yeah.
Like this one, hustle quotes, and mindset quotes. We're about to hit a peak if the year over year trends continue. Mm-hmm. So like don't look here, look over here too, to see what's coming up. Like, what do I want to write for? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do we need to get some more keywords on that? It was
personal development quotes. Yeah.
Coach, personal development coach, I think. Okay.
Coaching.
So we have personal development plan template, plan, podcast for women, goals, blog, plan, bullet journal, plan example. Let's just click here and see if we get any more. Oh, tons more. Okay, self-improvement, motivational quotes for success, self-growth quotes, life coaching tools, plan template. It goes on and on and on. So you don't even need the ads tool for this. But if you want it, I bet you get lots and lots. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's go to a different one too. So this one is from Di, and she says, how about yoga, which would be health. Yoga -health.
Oh, I bet that's big right now. Okay, cool. Let's look at that one. Yoga. So I want to get the whole... yogurt.
Not yogurt. Yoga.
Right. So people don't seem to care about yoga for flexibility right now, but they do care about a yoga routine. So like I think this is probably skewing things. So what we're looking at now is we're seeing yoga compared to yoga routine, and yoga overall is way bigger, but I think that's probably a little bit deceptive. So let's look at yoga. This one looks like it's yoga flows a pretty consistent year over month over month, but still yoga routine is, wow, look at that, right in line with COVID. Yeah. Right around March 17th, it just went up and up and up. And they're little dips, but still very, very popular search. And it's like, this is one where the year over year is not going to match last year. It's going to be way higher. So just use what you know about what's going on to think, could I still write about yoga in October and have it be popular? Oh, yeah. Right? Because we're still probably going to be at home.
Right.
Um,
So Laura Patterson, I think she's answering a question, but Laura, will you clarify what you're talking about there with, what to wear for your family photo shoot and all that stuff? What are you meaning by that? Because I want to make sure that your point, because Laura is also a faithful listener and viewer, and I want to make sure that we pull that up to but I don't know the context behind that. So,
okay.
so this is a great question by Shawnette. And she goes, wedding is such a broad topic. How can I niche it down? So let's do that with trends. Yes. Yes, let's use
yes.
trends.
Funny that you should ask. Okay, wedding. That, okay. Why is no one writing thank you cards? I guess because they haven't had any weddings.
Right.
Wedding is pretty steady. There's a peak here. What is that, like April?
Yeah, probably when they eased lockdowns, people ran out and got hitched.
Yeah, they probably will. Wedding entrance decor is good. Wedding dress style. So people are still planning for that. There are just too many to show here. So let's pick one. Which one do you want to pick?
I don't know, but I want to see what virtual weddings looks like because I wonder if that's gone up.
Oh, okay. Let's try. No, weird. I would have thought it would. Virtual.
Yeah.
Assistant, baby shower ideas.
Interesting.
All right, so let's try a wedding one because I want to see what related terms they give us. That one I bet is pretty low volume. Let's try wedding dress styles. Oh, it peaked like in January. Okay, it's going back up though, consistently right now. So, wedding dresses. Wedding dress is way more popular. Okay, so maybe wedding dress styles is just too low search volume to care about, even though it is up there. Lace wedding dress, long sleeve wedding dress. What else we got? Vestido de novia. I should probably not try to pronounce that.
So I think weddings is a huge topic, and so I'm sure that whoever asked that question is probably like a wedding event planner or a wedding, photographer or whatever. And so, wedding is, that is like Pinterest. It's like search wedding, that's very broad on probably the broadest one on Pinterest. But
it's to the point where it's not really,
right.
We're probably not doing you much good.
Right.
by searching these weddings.
Yeah. So Esther goes, yes, micro boutique weddings, intimate wedding, that kind of thing. Or try backyard weddings, as somebody else said, backyard or micro weddings. So Shawnette said that as well.
So technical. Okay. I gotta warn you, I think I'm in danger of losing my power. So
okay,
if
we have to leave you, we'll leave you and we'll wrap it up. But go until when you say Annie M, then we'll know to.
It's kind of wild. It's been a wild couple of weeks around here. Okay, backyard wedding, looking good. It's going down a little bit, but I think it's probably just a fluke. So let's click on that one.
Yeah, so I want to bring up what Laura said because she was replying to a question. She goes, as in for photographer, creating content around trending topics like Aztec decor doesn't necessarily attract people wanting to book a photo shoot. So my suggestion is, if I was a photographer, I'd maybe take a peek at my Google Analytics search console and search terms that are already bringing people to me, then start putting them into Pinterest and see what comes up. So that is really important. Yes. It has to do with intent. What is your audience's intent? So thank you, Laura, because I knew you had a great point. Nice. I just couldn't. I needed the context for that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I feel like your Google keywords are not going to be the same as your Pinterest keywords because of the intent. But it's a great place to start.
Right.
So look at this one here: backyard wedding ideas, small wedding ideas, outdoor wedding decorations. So backyard wedding is huge. Your next one for right now will be backyard wedding ideas, which makes sense. It's kind of the same thing. Then small wedding ideas, and then outdoor wedding ideas. But they're all following that similar up and down motion where now it's still a really good time to do it. Mm-hmm. And it looked like this time last year was good too. So you even if it weren't for the fact that people are going to be doing more outdoor weddings, right. It still looks like a good topic for you for at least a couple months to go.
Cool.
Well, it's still
So
nice
let's
out.
do one more because we're at we got
One
about
more,
10
okay.
minutes left. But this is interesting because
Okay.
I think it could be lumped into a big, huge monster category, almost like weddings. But I want
Okay.
to see what you can do with your trends magic. Corona says Carolina. I'm sorry. It says cookbook. Like
Is
a
it
cookbook.
Trona?
No, Corona. Corolla. I can't say it today. Anyway, cookbook.
Sorry about that. Okay, cookbook storage. Cookbook display. DIY cookbook. Cookbook.
Ooh,
That's
DIY
odd,
cookbook.
right? It's,
Yeah, it's just she just said cookbook. So, because food and drink is a huge category. So I was wanting to know what you could do, like find out,
Yeah.
drilling down.
I think it looks to me like what you really want is recipe book. Because DIY cookbook is really not it, right? Because if you're selling a recipe book or a cookbook, you want to use the word recipe book.
Yeah, that's.
So you don't really
interesting.
want the DIY if you're selling a cookbook.
Let's do like
Recipe.
let's narrow it a little more. Let's like the dessert cookbook.
Okay.
What can you like a dessert cookbook? Because I'm hungry anyway. So do dessert.
Okay.
See what you can do.
Dessert, I don't think it's going to come up. I think it's too specific for trends. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it here. Dessert.
And Lorena says we should focus on recipes, not cookbook.
Yeah, I think you're right. Which is why recipe book came out on
Right.
top. So dessert cookbook, design, layout, cover, and again, here we're getting into the recipes. So I think
So do dessert recipes.
yeah.
See what's trending. Because I'll go make it right
Let me
now.
go over here. Dessert recipes. Okay. What? No one's eating dessert? They're all down. Dessert recipes. Dessert recipes easy quick. Dessert recipes easy. For a crowd, oh, well, that makes sense. Nobody's making that.
That's interesting that desserts
Let's see.
are down. I would think people are picking out on desserts right now. 'Cause
Okay,
I
let's
am.
be fair. Okay, let's be fair about this. We had a huge jump. Huge jump in the end of March. And then now we're all kind of like, all right, I guess I should chill on the desserts. Yeah, holiday time they peak, and then again at the beginning of the lockdown they really peaked. And now they're like, I think if we could flatten the curve, Jeff, flatten the curve.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty even, right?
It's just
probably
amazing that it's
always-
going down. I mean, are we hit our sugar high? I think mine
that's
hasn't peaked
right.
yet. I'll tell you that much. So, and Lorena says you have
man.
to be specific in dessert, like cookie recipe. So do like
I think so too. Yeah.
what's popular right
this
now? I've
one.
seen for desserts.
Macarons?
Not macaroons. Did you say macaroons?
Macarons, the little French
Uh,
things. Melissa makes those.
Lee has do this one. So do sourdough bread.
Okay.
We want to see that
Oh,
because
my
I want to
goodness.
because I've actually started. Pinterest made me start cooking sourdough. It's going
I
down
know,
too.
You've been making it for... Yep, it was a huge trend right at lockdown time.
People are just. Well, guess we're getting sick of eating. I'm sure not. I must be.
I will
I'm
never get
outside
tired
the-
of sourdough bread.
I'm outside of the curve. So.
But look, it's always way lower volume than easy desserts.
Okay, last one because now I'm
surprising.
really so
Okay,
keto
okay.
cookies. Try keto cookies. That's very specific.
Oh,
Casey says that.
okay. This is fun, isn't it? That's why I love
Jill,
this
I
tool.
know.
Okay.
We've got to like do this.
What? Yeah, oh, yeah. Keto cookies. Yeah. What happened there? Was that a holiday?
See,
I
I
guess.
think we have given
Nobody ate them. On
I want to know if we're not eating. We've given up on carbs. I guess we're just eating carbs now. Not sugar.
Yeah, I think
just
so.
carbs. So
Just carbs. Give me a bowl of pasta.
yeah. So
Yep.
homepage of Pinterest trends. Scroll down to food. It's all zucchini stuff right now. So interesting.
Oh, totally. That and cucumbers. But here's another cool thing. Like, if you're looking at and you're like, oh, keto cookies, probably not the best time of year to write about it. Is there something else in related that works, or something else in the drop down that works? It's just amazing how much great information they're giving us.
Debbie goes.
Family dinners.
They're putting on bathing suits. So that's funny. So So anyway, so you can quit sharing your screen. We're about 5 minutes out. So
Okay.
So a lot of great questions today. Let me make sure we don't have any more questions here other than what we had. We talked about quarantine.
Yeah.
So
we didn't get to look at the templates, but that's okay. You can go get them. And
Right.
I think the only reason I really kind of want to look at them, you can look at them yourself, is that I've been really relying very heavily on the trends to figure out what to put in these templates
Right.
the last several months. So there's a little bit of that work already done for you in there.
So if you want to find that, if you're listening to us, it's bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit, bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit, all lowercase, all smashed together. They're great. They're awesome. Elisa works really hard on these, and so
thank you. Yeah, Kier designed them this time.
Yeah. So they're even better. No, I just know they're great. I mean, so Tailwind designers are incredible. They're awesome.
Yes, they are.
But so here is a great question, because I want to make sure we talk about this, and I would love it if you could maybe after the show, Elisa, drop in some like articles on Tailwind to help Anna here. She goes, I've been using Pinterest to drive traffic to my new blog for about 2 months. Do you have any top tips for beginners? So I think this is a great one to end the show with.
Okay. Wow. Top tips for beginners.
So about 2 months, she's got a new blog. So she's creating content. She's creating pins.
That's good. Create the content, create the pins.
Using trends to actually...
use trends.
Yeah.
Learn about Pinterest SEO. So there is a new webinar coming out on Tailwind, an SEO webinar that I've done several places, but never for Tailwind. So it's finally coming out for Tailwind in a couple of weeks. So I'll definitely be sharing that out quite a bit. I'll see what I can round up for you. There's another webinar I'm working on now that's going to be amazing for beginners. But think about your keywords. Use trends to find them.
So Lorena is asking, she's wanting some help with Pinterest ads. So I think we need to do a Pinterest ads show soon. So we will make sure we put that in the queue, Lorena, because I think that's a great idea. Especially, and she's asking about e-commerce. I think that would be a great idea as well. So we will definitely
we have that in mind. E-commerce, and the Tailwind's Pinterest ad rep said she can get somebody from the Pinterest ads team to come on the show.
That would be huge. So we are.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, like specific questions, put them in the chat or email me, Elisa@tailwindapp.com, so we can start putting that together for you guys.
And also, like if you're watching on Facebook and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you turn on those notifications, or I think in Facebook you can actually say see first, so you don't miss any of Tailwind's posts, because we put stuff out like, hey, what should we talk about next, or we're going to be talking about this, so you don't miss anything like that. You want to be notified, and also be on Tailwind's newsletter. So you can do that I think you go to the Tailwind blog. It's on the sidebar, I believe, where you can sign up to get notifications, because we do that for our shows. We do that for everything. Yeah. Like this new webinar that Elisa's going to be putting together. That's going to be huge. Pinterest SEO is a huge thing, so that's going to be awesome.
And it's super fun.
It's very fun.
If you liked this show with trends,
fun. So Samantha goes, yes, ads and e-commerce, please. So we will make sure we do this.
You got it. Okay.
Let us know, like, as we're, drop us, if you're watching the replay later, let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We'll try to get guests on if we can find good people to do that. If not, we will try to have Elisa talk, because I'll mess it up. But so we are excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our Trends episode. Very powerful tool. Very, very cool. You just got a taste of what you could do, but make sure that you go and test that out. Get some inspiration of what's working. Like Elisa was saying, make sure you just don't look at one point in the graph. Kind of look at where it's hitting in the date and time, and so you can kind of plan what may be coming up. Very, very cool stuff. Love that you guys tuned in. Thank you for all your questions and comments and helping each other out. We couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing. Don't forget to go to our the templates that we've put together, bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit. They are free. Go get those. Use those. Those are Canva templates as well, right? That's what they're at. So check those out. And with that, Elisa, I'll let you have the final word.
The final word?
The final
Okay,
word.
so if you're saying yes, let's talk about Pinterest ads, talk about e-commerce. Please let us know exactly the questions you want so that we can prepare for you. Because we really hate it when there's a question and we're like, I don't know.
Yeah, which can happen a lot.
Yes, it can happen a lot. So again, Elisa@tailwindapp.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. Let me know what specific questions you have. And thanks for being here. Good to see you, Jeff.
Good to see you as always. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.